So the first time I heard about the Trump Houtenir terrorist, or RFK Jr., as I like to call him, who shot up the CDC building, they said something about 4 shots. Then I heard a bystander say he heard at least 70 shots. And then I heard a report that said there were 60 shots shot at the CDC building. But I heard another report prior to that that said there were 170 shots shot at the CDC building by RFK Jr., this Trump Houtenir terrorist. And I'm disgusted at how they won't call these people terrorists because they're Trump Houteners, and all Trump Houteners are terrorists or at best terrorist supporters, but they won't call them out for their terrorism. They wouldn't call out the MAGA terrorist who shot the congresswoman in Minnesota a terrorist, and they won't call this guy a terrorist. They'll talk about how the people feel terrorized, how they don't want to go back to work at the CDC because of feeling terrorized, but they won't call him a terrorist, and they remove the designation of terrorist from Trump Houteners, who are, again, the terrorist in America. Biggest terrorist network by far in America, possibly in the world, but they won't call them terrorists, which is enabling terrorists or supporting terrorists, which makes the media terrorists as well. We need to call them out to that extent so they stop doing it, and they call these Nazi terrorists what they are: Nazi Trump Houtenir terrorists. And then we can start rounding them up and finish this and end fascism, not just in America. We can end it in such a spectacular fashion that we set an example that no one will ever want to be a fascist again. We didn't do enough of that in Germany. We split it into 2 countries, and then we let those countries reunite, and we let the AfD creep back in, and we let Trump Houteners creep into America. Maybe we should split countries such as America, Israel, Russia into 2, 3, and let other countries run them or facilitate land back to the indigenous people, and stop fascism by stopping the countries that allowed fascism, and set that as example. Not split them up for a little while and let them reunite 80 years later. Stop them forever. If you descend into fascism, you don't get to be a country anymore. And hey, Mexico, come get your kids. Start with Texas. Just go ahead and take Texas. We'll